today at Twisted in their HQ in North Yorkshire. As you can see, there's a fine selection of Defenders out the front, and there's the sheds in the back. There's another pretty cool building. This is the old cinema here. So inside in the old cinema, there's a few more products we can have a look at, and I'm really excited to be here today. It's absolutely unreal, and if I'm very lucky, we'll get to take some of these cars for a spin off-road, and who knows what's going to happen, because I have no off-road capability at all. Let's go.
Little bit of throttle. Bear around to the right a bit.
So here I am inside the old cinema, where you can see all of the products that Twisted work on, all of these Defenders. Some of them are sold, some of them are for sale, some of them you can get your own spec. And this is just fantastic. What a brilliant opportunity. I know I'm really excited, but it's hard not to be, because this is just so cool, and I'd love to see something like this back in Ireland. But for today, we're going to get a tour of the old cinema that they've converted, and then what we'll do is, if we're really lucky, we'll get to take these off-road.
Going back to the year 2000, Twisted began a rather young looking Charles that you'll have seen upstairs. Started the business doing tuning parts for Land Rover Defender. Everybody else was bolting bits on to make them better off-road and bigger, chunkier tyres and stuff. And Charlie said, well, I can do something a little bit different. And Twisted was born. This was working out of his garden shed, doing mail order parts to people, eventually getting out to trade shows. And then after a few years, 2009, there was the world's fastest Land Rover competition. Bit of a, everybody bringing the fastest things, setting off, going like Billy Stink, and we had a rather mild thing in comparison, a 2.5 litre diesel, and it wiped the floor with everybody. A rather proud moment for Charlie, in a car that he still owns and that is going to be out with us today.
World's fastest Defender. Yeah.
Oh.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That's a special one.
It's had a hard life.
This is the one that started it all then?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Well, you're gonna like keep it forever, don't
Oh,
you?
it will never go.
Exactly, yeah.
So this was a 2007 last off the line TD5 Defender, and it won the fastest Land Rover competition. It then became a drifter, so we had a lot of fun in fields with that, and it then lastly became his retro, which is his pride and joy to this day. It's one that will be out with us when we get off-roading up at Swinton. You'll see it in the field. It's beautiful, colour-caught Bahama gold, absolutely stunning car. It's been through so many guys. It's always been a big part of the Twisted journey. So I think that car's very, very important today when you see it, and it always brings a smile to our faces because it shows us where we've come from, where we are now. Around that time, 2011, we started doing some additions. We stopped just bolting bits onto people's cars. They'd asked us to do more and more. Could we fit different seats? Could we fit different wheels? And we started to do some additions. We did a red edition, a beautiful car with a full red interior. And they're very different to what anybody else in the Land Rover world was looking at the time. The last ones off the production line were January 2016, so anything we work on today is at least 6 years old. We go a lot further than that. You'll see from the lovely little old one we've got at the front door there. We will work on whatever it is, and we will take it to whatever level people want us to take it to. And it very much is about starting a journey with people, because what one person will need a Defender for isn't what another person will need a Defender for. One person will use it as their everyday car, it'll be the pride and joy for transporting the dogs about. Somebody else wants something beautiful for the family to drive across to the Alps. And that's very much what we have to do here. It's not, we sell Defender, this is what your offerings are. You pick from 4 different leather choices, you pick, as you do with a traditional manufacturer, the possibilities are endless. I suppose this highlights that we set off from a bare chassis for something like a full build, different engine, we build up from there, but every last little bit is ticked off by somebody. I'm sending the chap some details this morning, some stitch details, you know, what colour stitching do you want, but do you want the same for the outside as it is to do for the, you know, the inside, what quilting detail, and everything's built around that customer so that when he sees his car, comes to pick it up, and I've never seen it because it's never been built before, no to what it's saying, he'll go, wow, that's my car, that's an extension of me, and that's what we try and do. And there's a very small scale modifier, because we're probably more of an engineering firm, and it's the core of the vehicle is the most important thing to us. It has to work right, has to drive right, and then finally it has to look beautiful.
It's a weird feeling, isn't it, when it's very
So heavy, the clutch is so heavy.
It's the smoothest started mine was that.
Slow and steady.
Sorry, I've driven a World War II Jeep. The neighbour down the road has one. He did give me a spin, but it's a dog leg.
Oh yeah,
so I had to get used to. I only had a little spin now, but that was really light.
But the reason why we put the smaller steering wheels on it so you can actually get a bit more of a feel of the car.
Yeah.
Because the standard steering wheel is like a bus steering wheel, bit bigger, bit wider.
Right.
You know, we put the smaller ones on just so you can get more of a feel for the car, the sensitivity of the steering and stuff, and just like I say, general feel of things. Because it does, when we get back out on the road, and the tyres will be full of mud and it'll just spray up everywhere.
That's definitely worse. On the right here, John, there is a strong.
We started off in the HQ this morning in the old cinema. We got a fantastic tour of all of the Defenders that they have on show and some that they are working on at the moment. And what we're doing today is taking these defenders and running them around the fields. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a bit scary in the passenger seat, but fun. But it's going to be even more scary when I have to do the driving myself. So here we are in a field. We've just been driven around a course and given an example of what we're expected to do next. As a novice, I'm a little bit apprehensive about it, but also at the same time really excited. So we're just setting up. All the defenders made it through. One had a little bit of a hiccup on the way, but yeah, we're about to jump into these 90 and 110 defenders. Mine's a 110 long wheelbase to be able to handle it a bit better, but that's what I'm going to jump into next, and yeah, I'm going to give the course a go.
Well, spot on. So again, feet off the pedals once you get going, a little bit of throttle, no brake, no clutch, and away we go. If you bear right a little bit, we'll go straight to this one. Right, swing around now. Just keep to the left a little bit because we got stuck on that rock before. That's it.
Sorry.
No, you're alright, you're alright. Just what we'll do is just foot on the clutch and the brake, just roll back a little bit.
Back to the start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're alright.
Can you go for that?
Yeah. Right, we'll stop there. We'll go back for first. Now, where you just went then, we just kind of need to be just literally straight over that left-hand flag and up that bit. So
Aim left side to the left side.
just see where you went and where the tracks are. If we go for the middle of that,
Yeah.
I think we'll do that. That's it. You don't have to give it too much throttle either. She'll go. And round to the left. Sometimes you can maybe give it too much gas.
That's what I did, I think.
So if you go wide, and then we'll go down that one again. Keep going. Right, perfect. Straighten her up at that. We're in first. And just drop her off like you did before. So I'm going to be heading straight across, and then once we get past that big stone, we'll start turning to the right. Start pulling her across now. Yeah.
Do it again?
Can you do it again?
Yeah, I sure can, yeah.
A bit more gas. Yeah, that's it. and then we'll drop her into second for that.
Oh no.
First.
First now, yeah.
Yeah. That's it. You saw that one, that was our EV doing that one then, that electric Defender.
That's it.
So it's still got all the 4x4 capabilities of just like a standard petrol or diesel.
Yeah.
But not trying to stop yourself just to keep it from rolling away. Steer to the right a little, steer into the turn, get it nice and straight, and then straighten your wheels up quickly. That's it, lovely. You don't want to be knocking lock off halfway down a hill. You want to turn until you're straight with the hill. Newton wins, gravity always wins. Yeah. And the tendency is to gradually straighten up, but actually you want to get the lock on till you're square, and then quickly whip it off. Okay. And it'll tend to behave a bit better then. The reality of off-roading is you do as little as possible to break grip. Do as much as you can to maintain as much traction all the time as possible. So everything's as smooth as you can possibly make it. Throttle inputs are smooth, brakes are smooth, turning smooth, just to keep grip. A little bit of squirt here, not a lot, just lovely, and then gradually back off. Come right off, hover over the brake and down to the right. That's it. Going to give you a big hill to go down now. You simply, that's it, just hold it back a bit here if you would, because we've got a tight turn onto the right. So through the first orange and then keep left and then hard right. We'll have to wait for them to move out the way though. So come left a little bit for me, that's it. That's it. This way a little bit, you're alright, it's fine. So keep it this way. Okay. So this one, it's a nasty descent. Okay, slightly to the right again. Stop. Okay. You're not quite straight with the hill. Wherever the hill is, you want to be absolutely square to it. Okay. And you want to avoid turning on the way down. And it's good to not set off from the brow. So what we'll do is we'll just reverse away till you can see the brow, and then you're comforted that you're in the right place. All right, so just back her up. How you doing? Good. We'll try not to run you over.
Yeah, be good.
You're a little camouflage behind those thistles. Go back a bit more, just till you can see the top. That's it. Keep going, keep going. That's it. That's lovely. That's straight. Okay. You're all right at that. Okay. As you go down, I want you to think you're in a racing car on a racetrack, and you're going to go like that or like that, but you're never going to let go. So that when your hands come back to there, you know your wheels are straight. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just exactly what you did when you reversed. Yeah. So it's that or that. You shouldn't need to steer other than just to guide it. But if we end up, you know, if the back end starts to come round or anything, you might just need to put a bit of input in. But what I don't want is you to go, oh fuck, where's straight gone? Because you literally lose track because you've got no feedback to tell you. And that's why sometimes it's just as well off keeping hold. Okay. And I'm building it up. You'll get to the bottom and you'll go, what the hell was all that about? Yeah. So we're in low, we're in diff lock, we're in drive, we're good to go. We're going to go to the brow, and when you get to the brow, let the front wheels go over, and then just hover on the brake to hold the vehicle back. We don't really want to stop it, but nor do we want it to run away with us. So slightly to the right, that's it, and then nice amount of braking to start with, and you're going to gradually roll the brake off the further down we go. You're absolutely fine. Just start to roll the brake off. Ease off the brake, ease off the brake.
Sorry.
You're fine. The tendency and the want is to brake harder because it should be stopping me. But I haven't got the grip to stop me, so actually what I want is my wheels to turn with the ground rather than fight it, and then my steering will work.
I'm trying to listen to him. I'm trying to listen to him.
It doesn't make any sense.
Listen to the man.
Come this way a bit. Come this way a bit. That's it. Straighten up now. Round to the right. Round to the right. Round to the right. Bit more right. That's it. And we're just going to do the same down here. It will slide. Just go with it. Gradually peeling off the brake when I say. Just ease off the brake a touch and then go back on. Off the brake a touch and go back on. You have to come off the brake a bit and go back on. Before we had ABS, our right foot was our ABS. Cadence braking, and that's what you do coming down there. Brake, slide, back off. Brake, slide, back off. And it actually does slow you down.
Yeah, okay.
Well done.
Yeah, it is, you're so right, it's so counterintuitive. It's just like, do the opposite.
Mm.
But that seems to be physics though. Physics in lots of situations seems to be do the opposite.
That's the issue with electric.
Yeah.
You've got 885 newton meters of torque and it's freaking instant.
Yeah.
And with a petrol one or a diesel one, it would tell you what it's about to do. These almost don't. Albeit
It's so instant, that's the problem. It's
just,
yeah.
So we're going to just sweep round to the right here and down there. So come left a little bit for me. A little bit more left. A little bit more. Right, full right hand lock now. That's it. That's it. Keep it turning. Keep it turning. That's it. You're alright at that. That's it. And on the way down, just take the lock off when you're straight. Lovely.
So yeah, this is the electric version of the Twist. You kind of have to distrust your instincts, which is the strange thing to do. And in physics, it seems to be that you have to do the opposite of what you think you're supposed to do. So when you're going down a hill, you think you're supposed to brake, and it's not. You're supposed to accelerate a little bit and keep up with the speed. A very odd feeling, but you kind of get used to it quite quickly. Strangely, you get used to it quite quickly, and it is just fantastic. This electric version is still a work in development. I think they're constantly tuning and tweaking it. It looks great on the inside, seats really comfortable, all that kind of jazz. But this is just like, this 90 is fantastic. Back after what can only be described as quite an amazing day. You know, I've never driven off-road before. I got to drive not only a diesel off-road, but I got to drive an electric off-road as well. It's been absolutely amazing. I'm just on a complete high now after having just the best day, the best experiences. I've learned a lot about off-roading. I've learned a lot about the Twisted brand. If you ever get the chance to visit North Yorkshire, I would highly recommend dropping into Twisted. They're the most friendliest guys out there. They're so nice, and they really gave us a lot of their time today. So I hope you enjoyed this as much as I have.